Diddy, imagine how many people are panicking right now that he did it. But one of the main things, Piers, that pissed me off the most is the Usher and the Justin Bieber situation.
Oh my God.
He was on Howard Stern. Usher was on, I believe it was Howard Stern a while ago, and he explained that he went to Puffy's flavor camp at 14 years old. His parents dropped him off with Diddy, and he saw stuff that he said he couldn't believe. 14 years old, Piers. Okay? And God knows what he did with him. There's stories about
Justin
him.
Bieber
There's
there
videos
as
where
well.
he said,
Usher, after having seen that, he also said Justin Bieber there.
Great point. And if the rumors are true, Piers, he brings up Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber has looked like he has been through hell. He was seen with Diddy a couple months ago, and Diddy's patting him down for a while. These people, Piers, are disgusting. They're evil. Thank God Justin Bieber has found God. If he didn't find God, I don't think we'd have him. These people are predators.
Usher just set the internet on fire. And this time, it's about Justin Bieber, Diddy, and a truth that's been buried for years. According to explosive claims from Jaguar Wright, Usher didn't just mentor Bieber, he allegedly handed him over to Diddy for 48 hours when the pop star was only 15. No managers, no parents, just Diddy and a teenage Bieber. Now, with Diddy facing federal charges and Usher wiping his social media clean, people are starting to ask, what really happened? During those 2 days? Why are so many celebrities staying silent? And is the truth finally catching up to everyone involved?
Being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're going to put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We was fighting.
Jaguar Wright has ignited a firestorm with explosive claims that Usher handed a 15-year-old Justin Bieber over to Diddy for 48 hours, without any managers or parents around. In a resurfaced 2009 video, Diddy himself says, "I've been given custody of Justin for the next 48 hours, and the two discuss getting girls." The casual nature of their conversation raises serious concerns, especially given Bieber's age at the time. Usher's role in this handover is now under intense scrutiny, as people question whether it was a mentorship gesture or a dangerous lapse in judgment. Diddy, known for his wild, invite-only parties, has been linked to disturbing behavior, and though there's no confirmed evidence that Bieber was directly involved, the optics alone are troubling. Why would Usher, who knew Diddy well, let the teen spend unsupervised time in that environment? Diddy's words in the video now feel like a chilling warning, leaving many to wonder if Usher's decision put Bieber at serious risk.
Lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
What if Usher didn't just hand Bieber over to Diddy for 48 hours out of good faith? What if he knew exactly who Diddy was? And the truth is, he may have witnessed the dark side of Diddy firsthand. Years before the Bieber incident, when Usher was just 13, he moved into Diddy's home in New York, entering what was called Puffy's flavor camp. At the time, it was sold as a mentorship program, but now it feels more like a cover-up for something far darker. Usher has only ever hinted at what he witnessed during those years, but the few details he's shared are chilling. In a 2004 interview with Howard Stern, Usher revealed, "I saw some things I don't know if I could even understand what I was looking at." When Stern asked if women approached him during his time at Diddy's camp, Usher hesitated before answering, "I didn't say that." His silence and the look on his face spoke volumes. What Usher saw at that age, things no 13-year-old should ever have to witness, changed everything. And it's possible that his experiences back then influenced his actions with Bieber years later. What did he know about Diddy's world, and how did it shape his decisions?
It's nothing like fellowshipping, you know?
Right.
We see each other around, but we don't get it. Usher, how you been, man? I haven't seen you so long.
How much did we drink?
You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying. Well, we drank a little bit. You drank a lot.
You drank one Kuiper Roche.
Let me say fired up. Yeah. Fired up.
Your forehead is sweating from Uncle Leroy.
It's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
Jaguar Wright has even gone as far as claiming that Usher was hospitalized after an incident while staying at Diddy's home, though Usher has never publicly confirmed this. Over the years, former bodyguards and music insiders have whispered about the dark secrets behind those closed doors, and many speculate that something traumatic might have happened to Usher during that time. Something that could explain the strange loyalty he's shown to Diddy throughout the years, even when it seemed unjustified. But here's the chilling part. If Usher was indeed groomed as a teenager and grew up to become a powerful gatekeeper in the music industry, did he unknowingly pass on that same trauma? Did he repeat the cycle of abuse with Justin Bieber? This situation isn't just about pointing fingers at anyone. It's about understanding how cycles of abuse operate. How victims, if they never process their pain, can become enablers. That's what makes this entire story even more heartbreaking. The possibility that Usher, unknowingly, became part of a cycle that has now ensnared others.
Been like fellowshipping, you know? So we see each other around, but we don't get it. Usher, how you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink?
You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying.
Well, we drank a little bit. You drank a lot.
You drank one Kuiper.
I mean, you said fired up?
Yeah.
Sweat your throat, like fired up.
Your forehead is sweating from Uncle Leroy.
It's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
It's not like we're just hanging out, you know? We see each other. Every now and then, but it's not like we're really connecting. Usher, how you been, man? Been a minute since I've seen you. How much did we drink? You trying to say something? Azure, what you trying to say? Well, I mean, I'm not sure if I should, but I guess we've had a bit to drink, right? You definitely had more than I did. You had that one Kuiper, said you were fired up after that. Your forehead was sweating, Uncle Leroy. It's not even that hot in here.
Alright, Usher, Justin Bieber, Diddy. This is how they all connect. When Usher was super young, he got signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm going to give you the evidence as to why people believe this. But until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right. So Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, "Hey, yo, pause. When Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for frost."
Now we're facing a deeply disturbing chain of events. Usher, at just 13, possibly groomed by Diddy, and years later, he allegedly hands over a young Justin Bieber for 48 unsupervised hours. But as we dig deeper, more names begin to surface, and that leads to the burning question everyone's been asking. Where were all the other celebrities while this was happening? Why did nobody speak out? The silence from these public figures is one of the most frustrating aspects of this entire story. Think about it. Diddy's been surrounded by celebrities for decades. LeBron James famously said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," and Jay-Z, countless rappers, actors, and influencers were all attending his events. So where were they when this disturbing behavior was going on behind closed doors? It's not like the rumors were hidden. Stories about Diddy's notorious after-parties, known as freak-offs, have been circulating for years. And these weren't just wild rumors. Federal prosecutors have described these gatherings as involving coerced sex acts, filmed rituals, and even victims being moved across state lines. The government doesn't throw around words like that lightly. So why did no one with influence speak up?
Time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, "I want to sing for you."
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reid, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR, man.
By the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's...
Some argue that fear kept people silent. Diddy wasn't just a party guy. He was a mogul with power across music, fashion, liquor, and television. Speaking out against him could have meant the end of a career. But others were right there. They saw things firsthand, and the longer they remain quiet, the more it looks like complicity. Silence can be loyalty, but it can also be guilt. Even Usher, who's been closely tied to Diddy, hasn't said a word since the latest allegations surfaced. No statement, no interview. He even wiped his social media accounts and claimed he was hacked. The timing couldn't have been more convenient. It's clear that many of these celebrities are scrambling to clean up their digital footprints before anyone starts asking tough questions. But the public isn't blind, and people are starting to get angry. They see what's going on, and they're demanding answers.
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that. And they may be doing something. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that. And then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when probably say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. So I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. And that's just, that's something that you heard. You don't know if it's true. You just heard it. So, and just to hear this and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that's just crazy. And like I just said, that's just something that I heard. It's something that I didn't know. It's something that I ain't see. A lot of people want to, because Gene Deal has spoken on certain things that I've heard, I have spoken on it. But then they were just trying to say, I know. No, I'm not scared to say what I heard. And if there's any truth to it, then it's truth to it. Let them find it. Things that I've saw or things that I've witnessed and been a part of, I've said it.
Now let's turn our focus back to the one person who's remained silent throughout all of this, Justin Bieber. No denials, no support, no comments. His silence speaks volumes, and when you look at his body language, behavior, and how his career has shifted, you start to wonder if he's carrying a truth too heavy to speak aloud. Bieber's silence is unsettling, but it's also a reflection of the struggles he's faced. He's grown up in the public eye, but the person we see today is far from the wide-eyed teen who used to smile for the camera beside Diddy. Over the years, Justin has endured rehab stints, public meltdowns, emotional breakdowns, and long stretches away from the spotlight. At one point, he even admitted, "I was doing things I was ashamed of just to numb the pain." The toll his rise to fame has taken on him is undeniable, and the weight of those unsaid truths seems to have haunted him throughout his journey. Could his silence be a result of the trauma he's endured? Justin Bieber has never directly addressed what happened during his early years with Usher and Diddy, but his actions speak louder than words. From walking away from world tours to posting cryptic Bible verses only to delete them, it's clear that something runs deep. In recent months, Bieber has avoided all questions about Diddy, staying completely off the radar. Even his wife, Hailey, Bieber, posted a throwback picture of Justin flipping the bird, which fans immediately interpreted as a subtle, leave him alone message. If Justin was groomed or traumatized, he's clearly not ready or not able to talk about it yet. Some believe he's protecting his mental health, while others suspect he's under gag orders or NDAs. Either way, the silence is deafening. What hurts the most is knowing how many adults were around him, yet how few truly protected him. The industry wanted his voice, his face, and his profits, but did anyone actually care about him as a person? If Jaguar rights claims are even half true, then Justin was failed by those who promised to guide him. And this is where it all circles back to Usher. The more the story unravels, the more Usher's role comes under scrutiny, not just for what he did, but for what he knew. With Diddy now facing federal charges and authorities seizing tapes, any footage from those infamous parties could pull Usher and Bieber deeper into this legal and emotional firestorm. Right when the Diddy scandal exploded and federal agents raided his mansions, something strange happened. Usher's entire Twitter account was wiped clean. Every tweet was gone. This wasn't months before the Diddy scandal. It was right after. Fans noticed immediately, and "Shock, what is Usher hiding?" trended for hours. It looked like a digital detox, or at worst, a cover-up. Usher later claimed he was hacked, but the timing was too perfect. Prosecutors had already confirmed the seizure of hundreds of tapes, including video evidence tied to sex trafficking, coercion, and abuse. If any of those tapes show Justin Bieber, or even Usher himself, it would be devastating, emotionally and legally. Diddy himself had claimed custody of Bieber, and rights allegations suggest that Usher knowingly handed Justin over, aware of Diddy's dark tendencies.